Barak Yahawah, Barak Yahawashi, Barak Yahawah, Barak Yahawashi. Call Holo Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi, Bashem Hakadesh. Double honor to Apostle and elders of Great Millstone that taught me this 100% truth that we well. Salutations to the Yakim out there pushing the truth from sincerity and risk their lives to do so. Salutations to the hopeful elect that are scattered among the four corners of the earth that believe in the truth of Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi. Shalom. Alright, I just want to do a lesson on how the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Al-Shai, how they created all things and how they control, both sides of the spectrum, both, the good and the evil, because, in modern day Christianity, plantation Christianity, deemed by, Elder Pastor Hall, how he gets on these modern day Christians, how they gave us, this form of belief through putting us on the plantations and pumping that fear of, fake bullshit plantation Christianity into our people, the nation of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, So, they tell you that the Lord, all he does is love and, that, he doesn't hate and, he does no evil, but that's not scriptural. Those are false statements. You know what I'm saying? That's what, their version of what they created and what they taught into us, says, you know what I'm saying? But that's not true because the Lord is the Almighty, which means that he controls all things. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing that he doesn't have control over. And, through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Ashai, we're going to show that in this lesson, and, Lord willing, is edifying. And we're going to start here in Ben Sirach or Eschatologicus 18, which reads, this is 18:1, he that liveth forever hath created all things in general. The Lord only is righteous, and there is none other but he, who governeth the world with the palm of his hand, and all things obey his will. For he is the king of all, by his power dividing holy things among them from profane. Yeah, the Lord is in control of all things, both the good and evil. You know what I'm saying? He created light, he created darkness. You know what I'm saying? All the things of the creation, were created by Yahweh Bashem Al-Shai because he's balanced. You know what I'm saying? And, going here, we can get a precept here. It says, he that liveth forever hath created all things in general. So who is he that's created forever? And I got some, let's add, let's go to, this is Daniel 4:34. This is Daniel 4:34, which reads, and at the end of the days of Nebuchadnezzar, lifted up my eyes into heaven, and my understanding returneth unto me, because this is when the Lord has stripped Nebuchadnezzar the kingdom from him, because the Lord is control of all things, and Nebuchadnezzar, was going off, and the Lord humbled him. You know what I'm saying, taking him out of power and put him as a beast in the field, and then the Lord restored him, showing that the Lord is in control of putting all these heathen nations in power, because this is his story, and this is what he does. He controls all things, all men, all creation is controlled by Yahweh Bashem Al-Shai, and this is their story. Reading on, my eyes lifted up my eyes. Let's start over. Let's Daniel 4:34. And at the end of the days, I Nebuchadnezzar lifted up my eyes unto heaven, and my understanding returned unto me, and I blessed the Most High, and I praised and honored him that lived forever, whose dominion is an everlasting dominion, and his kingdom is from generation to generation. And the Lord gives his kingdom, to whom he pleases. You know what I'm saying? And right now, we're in the current kingdom of Esau, Edom, who he gave, who was the base of the men, who the Lord put in power. So it's like this is his show, and you know Um, he's in control of all things. You know what I'm saying? You know, from the righteous to the unrighteous or whatnot. All things are controlled by Yahweh Shema Shai on the right and the left hand side. So this is um, Revelations 4 and 11. Thou art worthy, O Lord, to receive glory and honor and power, for thou hast created all things, and for thy pleasure they are and were created. And all things were created to please Yahweh Shema Shai. So it's like, yeah. So yeah, uh, all things were created by and for Yahweh Shema Shai. You know, because he, he created all things. You know, there's no, the evil angels that the Lord has created. They don't just do what they want. You know what I'm saying? Plantation Christianity, they gave you the false narrative that Satan got kicked out of heaven and that he just became rogue and started doing what he wanted to do. But it's not. That's not so. They can't prove that in the scriptures nowhere. You know, but the scriptures show that he's a obedient angel and he does as the Lord instructs him to do. Because the Lord is the Almighty. The Lord ain't worried about something that he created. Because if he wanted to, he would have just destroyed him. He's not gonna let him just go run ramshack throughout the universe and without his authority. He'll just wipe him out. I mean, he let him do that. You know what I'm saying? But that's the lie that was told to us by Esau Edom, the so-called white man. When he came into power, he came up with his own narrative, his own doctrine, his own savior. You know what I'm saying? And changed his image and made him to a so-called white man. And changed the narrative like he loved all people, he came to save all people. That's not so, because that's not scriptural. You know. But at the same time, that also was authorized by Yahweh Shema Shai. He allowed Esau Edom to do that because he's going to make an example out of him in the end. So this is Ephesians 3 and 9, which reads, and to make all men see what is the fellowship of the ministry, what is the fellowship of the mystery, which from the beginning of the world have been hid in the Most High, who's created all things by Yahawashi Hamashiach. Yeah, all things were created. The Lord gave authority to Yahawashi to create all things, because Yahawashi was the first spirit created, and he ordained and gave authority to Yahawashi to create all other things. So all things, uh, he gave him the authority to do these things, and he approved of it. You know what I'm saying? So they are one in agreement. They are on the they're two separate spirits, but they are in agreement on uh, the things that are displayed in the earth. They agreed on creation. They agreed on the balance of creation in itself. You know what I'm saying? With the good and the evil, with the light and the day, with the cold and the hot. You know what I'm saying? Like they created that. So this is Proverbs 16 and 4, which reads, Yahweh have made all things for himself, ye even the wicked for the day of evil. So even the wicked that the Lord created was created for himself for the day of evil. So Esau Edom was created for the day of evil. And what's the day of evil? The day that the Lord is going to bring death and destruction unto the space uh, of the earth in modern day Babylon, when he takes his devil out of power and restored in the kingdom of Israel, as is written, So he created Esau Edom specifically, for that, to be the wicked in the earth, You know what I'm saying? And also to be a servant unto his brother Jacob, which he will be. You know what I'm saying? He was before, which he will be again. You know what I'm saying? In the kingdom of heaven, when the nation of Israel is in rule, Esau, even the so-called white man and his descendants, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna be in servitude in the kingdom of heaven. You know what I'm saying? Because they had their rule. They're in their reign right now, but they're at the end of it. But you know, um, as you see here, you know, they were created for the Lord's purpose. And this is First Corinthians. No, oneness started. So First Corinthians 1:13. Let's start here. Who have delivered us from the power of darkness and have translated us into the kingdom of his dear Son, in whom we have redemption through his blood, even the forgiveness of sins, who in the image of the invisible power, the firstborn of every creature, who's Yahawashi, who's Yahawashi the firstborn, because the Lord created him first. For by him were all things created that are in heaven and that are in the earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or domains or principalities or powers, or all things were created by him and for him. All things were created by him and for him, by Yahawah, by Hashem Yahawashi. You know what I'm saying? They are one in agreement. Two separate spirits, but in agreement and one. And let's go see what this definition of principalities. Let's see, principalities.
Strong's G 746. Arche. Arche.
All right, let's see. Usage. All right. Beginning, origin, the person or thing that commences the first person or thing in a series, the leader, that by which anything begins to be the origin, the active cause, the extremity of a thing, of the corners of a cell, the first place, principality, rule, magistrate of angels and demons. There you go. So Yahawashi, you know what I'm saying, created angels and demons. You know what I'm saying? Showing you that, you know, they're in control of all creation. You know, the principalities, you know what I'm saying? He controlled both the right and the left hand side. So, you know, they're their creation, which means that if they created them, they have control over them. You know what I'm saying? Angels ain't, you know, these angels ain't just doing whatever they want to do out there. The righteous or the unrighteous, or the evil, or the angels on the left hand side, you know, what's referred to as demons, or the angels on the right hand side, the righteous angels. They take instructions, they all take instructions from Yahawah Shem Shai, you know? So they're showing you that he is in control of all things. And this is Isaiah 45:7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace. I create evil. I, Yahawah, do all these things. Again, showing you that the Lord is in control of both sides. It's all in the scriptures right here, you know? So the false narrative that Esau Edom created of the Lord, you know, not controlling both sides, is a farce. You know what I'm saying? It's not true. You know, the scriptures show that the Lord is in control. You know, but you know, a lot of our people, they're stuck in that mind state that, you know, of plantation Christianity, but that's also at the power of the high about Shem Shai, because you know the Lord, you know, hasn't opened up this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to all. You know what I'm saying? Especially to all His people. You know what I'm saying? Because you know that's, I know, plantation Christianity he used as a stumbling block for those that he don't want, because you know 2/3 of His people are going to be destroyed here in Babylon, aka America, aka United States of the United States of America. You know what I'm saying? You know, this place is going to be destroyed. It's going to be this is place is a is a big altar. You know, and the Lord going to make barbecue chicken. You know what I'm saying? Like that nigga Shaq had to say. You know, his demon. Barbecue chicken, right? That's what the Lord going to do. It's going to be a big barbecue. You know what I'm saying? When the Lord returns. This is Skilly. Yeah, what's this? Yeah, Wisdom of Solomon 1:14, which reads, "For he created all things that they might have their beginning, and the generations of the world were healthful, and there is no poison or destruction in them, nor the kingdom of death upon the earth, for righteousness is immortal." Yeah, so the Lord even controlled immortality. You know what I'm saying? And he conquered death upon the earth because when he came and he died uh, for the nation of Israel, he swallowed up death. And he gave him and his people immortality because we're going to be the only immortal nation in the kingdom of heaven or whatnot. So the Lord is in control of that. He created that and he gave it into only his people. You know what I'm saying? The rest of these nations, when we take over, they're going to be in servitude for us and for eternity. You know what I'm saying? Like they had a short rule, but we're going to have an eternal rule and we're going to live forever. You know what I'm saying? So, and we're going to, you know, put our necks upon these heathens that, you know, did the same thing to us. And Esau Edom is going to get it the worst, you know? And all these nations, these women of these other nations going to flock to us. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they do it now, but even more so then. Because, you know, who wants to be a peasant? You know what I'm saying? You know, they rather, you know, be with kings. And they rather their children's. We're not going to be like, you know, Esau Edom when he did in his rulership. And, you know, when he had his foot on the neck of Jake and, you know, he brought us here to what they call America today, you know, with, you know, this, what the scriptures refer to as, you know, spiritual Egypt and Sodom, that, you know, when he laid, you know, with our women and he had children, he put them in the field. You know what I'm saying? That's how wicked he is. He's wicked into his own, right? So he had and laid with our women, you know, that which that goes into the wheat and the tears, and that's a whole lesson in itself. But anyway, he laid with our women and had, you know, his seed mixed amongst us. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when you are with your father, so when you lay with him, when he lay with our women, he had, you know, Edomites. You know what I'm saying? And he put his own people into slavery because they look, you know, like Jake. So his thing was, well, because you look like this, man, I got this perpetual hatred. Your ass get in the field too. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he did his to his own children. You know what I'm saying? And put him in that same space, showing you he wicked. You know what I'm saying? But us, on the other hand, when we lay with these heathens of the other nations and we have our children, they might be in servitude, but our children won't be. You know what I'm saying? They mothers, whatever may be in servitude, but the children that we have with them will not be. They're going to be immortal children, and they're not going to be in the fields putting in work. It's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to be righteous rulership, and our seed is going to flourish forever, or whatnot. And there's no poison and destruction, you know, in, you know, Yahawah Shema Shai, because they're pure. You know what I'm saying? You know, you can't be destroyed. This is Wisdom of Solomon 12:01. For thine for thine incorruptible spirit is in all things. So the Lord who created all things, his spirit is in all things. This is Job 2:10, which reads, But he saith unto her, Thou speakest as one of the foolish woman speaketh, What shall we receive good at the hand of the Most High, and we shall not receive evil? In all that, it's like in all that did not Job sin with his lips. So Job understood when he was going through his turmoil that the Lord had placed upon him, that he knew that, you know, the Lord was control of both sides, both the evil and the good. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord was plaguing, you know, sent plagues upon Job, you know, as an example. You know what I'm saying? But you know, he did restore Job, and the story of Job is just, uh, you know, that's an example of, you know, the nation of Israel, who the Lord, you know, brought down, and you know was going to restore at the end. You know what I'm saying? So this is Judges 9:23, which reads, "Then the Most High sent an evil spirit between Abimelech and the men of Shechem, and the men of Shechem dealt treacherously with Abimelech." So the Lord sent the evil spirit. You know what I'm saying? Showing that he's in control. Evil spirit just he decided like, yo, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna fuck with Abimelech. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just make this nigga sin. You know, he didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? He did what the Lord instructed him to do. The Lord said, hey, I need you to go and, you know, disturb or put plagues or trouble, chastise Abimelech. You know what I'm saying? And the evil spirit did so. He did as instructed to do. And this is Psalms. I want to get Psalms 78:49, but matter of fact, let's read up though, because this is explaining. David is explaining what the Lord did to the Egyptians for taking us into captivity, and you know the plagues that the Lord sent upon them, that it was the Lord's doing. You know what I'm saying? For you know for the Egyptians, you know, holding us in captivity and not letting us go. So the Lord, you know, punished them. So this is Psalms 78:43, which reads, how he had wrought his signs in Egypt and his wonders in the field of Zion. Zion. Slakia. And had turned their rivers into blood and their floods that they could not drink. Yeah, so the Lord, that was a plague that the Lord sent upon Egypt. He sent divers sorts of fowls, Slakia. He sent divers sorts of flies among them, which devoured them, and frogs which destroyed them. He gave also their increase into the caterpillar, and their labor into the locust. He destroyed their vines with hail, and their sycamore trees with frost. He gave up their cattle also in the hail, and their flocks to hot thunderbolts. He Slakia. That's Psalm 78:49. He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath, and indignation, and troubled them, and troubled by sending evil angels among them. So the Lord sent evil angels among the Egyptians to plague them during this time, to have them release us. You know what I'm saying? Showing you that the Lord is in control. He gave them instruction, you know, and they, you know, did as he was told, because the Lord, he's the Almighty, El Sadra, a demon-like power. You know what I'm saying? He controlled both the left and the right hand side. So he had put great fear, you know, in the people. You know what I'm saying? Because they knew that he was a god of war as well. This is Revelations 19:6. And I heard, as it were, the voice of a great multitude, and the voice of many waters, and as the voice of mighty thunderings, saying, Alleluia, for the Lord God omnipotent reigneth. or omnipotent, however you want to pronounce it. And let's get the definition of omnipotent or omnipotent.
Strong's G 3841, Pantocrator. Pantocrator.
And the definition reads, he holds sway over all things, the ruler of all, almighty power. So the Lord is in control of all things, both the evil and the good. So this is Job 1:6, which reads, now there was a day when the sons of the Most High came, present themselves before Yahawah, and Satan came also among them. So how is it that if Satan got kicked out of heaven, like Esau Edom says, how is he among Yahawah and the angels taking counsel? Because he never got kicked out. That's a lie, man. That's a bold-faced lie. That's not scriptural. That's Greek mythology, what they made up to place fear upon us in, plantation Christianity, man. So we won't rebel against them. You know what I'm saying? Because Jacob was rebelling, as you know. The story of the Haitians in Haiti, and also the Nat Turner. You know what I'm saying? Jake was rebelling against him, so they had to pump fear in Jake, so they couldn't rebel, and they made up, plantation Christianity. They made the slave Bible or whatnot, taking all the, books of redemption out. You know what I'm saying? And keeping the books of servitude in. And they forbade us to read, because they knew that if we understood how to read, they would kill us if we, was trying to read. You know what I'm saying? Because we know if we learned how to read, we read the Bible, and we know we got a spiritual connection, to Yahawah Ba'al Shai through the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Because it was written for the nation of Israel, and if we read it, the Spirit will recognize with us, those who are the elect, and gain an understanding, and we will understand who we were, because some Jake, they understood who they were. It wasn't a full awakening at that time, like the Lord has deemed at this time, for the full awakening of Ezekiel 37 to take place. But Jake was, on point with finding out who they were, and that's why a lot of them rebelled. But as you see here, um, uh, Satan being an angel falling from heaven or being cast out of heaven is not so. You know what I'm saying? Because why would the Lord allow him to hold counsel and come back, into the heavens if he got kicked out? That's not so, man. That's bullshit, fabrication, a lie that Esau Edom, the devil in the flesh, made up. So-called white man, he gonna pay for that. Esau Edom, so-called white man, is gonna pay for all the wickedness he done, especially what he done to the nation of Israel. Job 1:7, which reads, and Yahawah said unto Satan, whence comest thou? Then Satan answered Yahawah and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. So he's doing as the Lord, the Lord asked him, yo, where you coming from, Satan? And he's telling, from what you told me to do, going to and from within the earth. You know what I'm saying? Because he gave Satan dominion over the earth to wreak havoc. Read on, Job 1:8, and Yahawah said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and one upright, one that feareth the Most High and sheweth evil? Was Job stayed away from evil, and the Lord made a wager with Satan. You know what I'm saying? So that he knew that Job wouldn't rebel against him. Why? Because the Lord put the spirit on Job not to do so. You know what I'm saying? He knew Satan knew he was going to take an L. He knew that. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, yeah, okay, well, this is what you instructed me to do. I'm going to go with it because this is, you're in power. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do as you say. But the Lord knew that, Job was going to, rebel because It's his will. You know what I'm saying? It was his will for him not to, because he controlled all of man's will. There's no such thing as free will in this world. Everything is controlled by Yahawah Shem Shai. You know what I'm saying? You have no free will, and that's even a lesson in itself too. But there's no free will. The Lord is in control of all things. All the creation is created by Yahawah Shem Shai, and they control all things. You know what I'm saying? Everything, every thought, every move you make, as all things are controlled through and by Yahawah Shem Shai. And this is Job 1:9, which reads, Then Satan answered Yahweh and said, Doth Job fear the Most High for naught? Has not thou made an hedge about him, and about his house, and about all that have on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and has his substance is increased in the land. Yeah. So it was the Lord that had a hedge of protection around Job that allowed him to flourish. You know what I'm saying? Because the Lord loved Job, and he granted him great favor. For being obedient unto him. Job 1:11, which reads, But put forth thine hand now and touch all that he have, and he will curse thee in thy face. So Satan, telling the Most High, well, put me forth, let me go. Which he's his hand on his left hand side. He said, put your hand forth. So put me forth, push me forth, and let me have my way with Job, and let's see if he fold or not. You know what I'm saying? Showing you that he's in control. Why would he say put your hand forth? Because there's no one that could deliver from the hand of Yahawah Shem Shai. So he said, put me forth, put his hand forth. Let me go and cause chaos and disruption in Job's life, and let's see if he's stay loyal unto you. And Yahweh said unto Satan, Behold, all that have behold, all that he have is in thy power. Only upon himself put not forth thy hand. So Satan went from him, from the presence of Yahweh. Yeah, so Satan had to get permission, from Yahawah Shem Shai to do these things to Job, because because Satan is not an authority. You know what I'm saying? He takes orders. The Lord is the authoritator in this. You know what I'm saying? The Lord, dictates what takes place in the heavens and in the earth. You know what I'm saying? He has dominion over all things. So both spiritual and non-spiritual, everything in the flesh. The Lord controls everything. You know what I'm saying? It's all his creation, and it's created for his purpose. And the Lord, and that's why Satan had to go and get permission to do these things to Job. Satan just ain't rebelling. He ain't just get kicked out of heaven. You know what I'm saying? And doing his own thing, going rogue and just having his way in the earth. No. The Lord created him to do just what he's doing. He having his way in the earth because the Lord created him to do that. You know what I'm saying? And little do you niggas that believe in plantation Christianity know, is that Satan ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? The spiritual demon Satan is not going to the Satan of the flesh is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Y'all niggas going into servitude, and y'all gonna be destroyed after 1,000 years of servitude. But the spiritual demon Satan ain't going nowhere, because there's still gonna be sin committed in the earth by the heathen nations, not by the nation of Israel, because the laws are going to be written inside of us. The northern and southern kingdom, as you see in Jeremiah 31, and was reiterated in Hebrews 8:8, that that the laws and statutes will be written inside of us. You know what I'm saying? So we can't go off, and we're going to be given that flesh of immortality. But the left hand side is still going to be in existence, because why? They have to cause these other nations to go off so we can give judgment in the earth. We're gonna be the nation of Israel is gonna be the kings, you know, and the rulers of the earth, and we're gonna pass judgment on all the heathen, all the nations, you know, Esau, Edom, so-called white man, you know, the Moabites, which you know, the Chinese, you know, the Japanese, the Ammonites, you know what I'm saying, the Elamites, the Indonesians, all you gonna be Ishmael, the Arabics, all you guys are gonna be in submission, and you know, you're still gonna be able to go off. You won't have immortality. You know, you're gonna die and you're gonna come back, and you're gonna serve uh, your punishment as deemed by Yahawah Shema Shai. Just like we as a nation had to do in this captivity, in the several captivities before that. You know what I'm saying? We had to continuously go in captivity, and then at the end, yeah, all these heathen nations had a time to rule over us. You know what I'm saying? They had a point in time, but their ruleship was going to be short, and now it's going to be for eternity. You know, the Lord gave them balance. He gave them an opportunity, you know, to rule, and now, you know, at the end, it's going to be our rule, and we almost at that point. You know what I'm saying? We almost out of here. But anyway, let's read on. This is 1 Samuel 6 and 14, which reads, "But the spirit of Yahweh departed from Saul, and an evil spirit from Yahweh troubled him. And Saul's servant said unto him, Behold, now an evil spirit from the Most High troubled thee." So, showing you that the Lord again controls evil. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's the authority. He's the authority when it comes to, you know, putting evil into work. He sends, you know, these evil angels, and Satan is his top angel on the left hand side, and they orchestrate. They take the order from the Lord and they orchestrate, you know, what the Lord has put forth or set forth for them to do. They ain't out there rebelling, like, you know, Esau Edom has, you know, taught the narrative of, you know, to be. That's not true because it's not scriptural. All the scriptures we bring out here is telling you that the Lord is in control. He created all things for his purpose. He controls both sides of the spectrum according to the words of Yahawah Shema Shai. This is Proverbs 11 and 1. A false balance is an abomination to Yahweh, but a just weight is his delight. Yeah, the Lord delights in balance. You know what I'm saying? So showing you that, you know, he saw evil and it was good unto him, and he saw the good, the righteousness was good unto him. You know what I'm saying? He created it for his purpose. He created balance. So this is Proverbs 16 and 11, which read, "A just weight and balance are Yahweh's. All the weights of the bags, it's like all the weights of the bag are his works." All the works that take place in this earth is of Yahawah Shema Shai. Both the evil and the good. It was orchestrated by Yahawah Shema Shai. You know what I'm saying? Precept upon precept, line upon line upon line, here, there, here a little, there a little. Showing you that the Lord, you know what I'm saying? David said, "I love thy precepts to give understanding." You got to get the precepts of Yahawah Shema Shai, to get the understanding, you know, of this word. You know what I'm saying? And it's only given through the spirit of Yahawah Shema Shai. And, you know, and only the elect of the nation of Israel will be able to receive it. You know? So, you know, the scriptures are showing that the Lord controls both sides of the spectrum. And this is 1 Peter 3 and 21, which reads, "The like figure whereunto even baptism both also now save us, not the putting away of the filth of the flesh, but the answer of good conscience toward the Most High, by the resurrection of Yahawashi Hamashiach, who is gone into the heaven and is on the right hand side of the Most High. Angels and authorities and powers being made subject unto him. The Lord Yahawah Shema Shai rules over all things." You know what I'm saying? All angels, both the left hand side, the evil angels, and the right hand side, the righteous angels, are under his authority. You know what I'm saying? Or under his power. It's him who rules over all things. You know what I'm saying? Yahweh created Yahawashi, and Yahawashi created all the things, and Yahweh agreed to it. You know what I'm saying? They are one in agreement. Two separate entities, but are one in agreement. They're on the same page, man. Uh, yeah. So that's pretty much it, man. Um, yeah. So I hope the lesson been edifying. As you can see, we went and we showed through scriptures, and it's most scriptures on the good and the evil, that the Lord displays in the Bible. But just a few, you know, um, to help edify the nation of Israel, show you that um, the Lord is in control of both sides of the spectrum, and uh, there is no other. You know what I'm saying? He's the creator of all things, and that false narrative of him only being good and not doing any evil or not orchestrating evil, or he said it himself that he's in control of all things. He creates evil. You know what I'm saying? The Lord said it himself. But Esau Edom created a narrative that he doesn't. He's all loving. He's all forgiving, and anybody can be saved by him. And that you know uh, he doesn't hate. You know what I'm saying? Which is false, because Esau Edom want his blessing back. He doesn't want to be the hated. The Lord hates Esau Edom. You know what I'm saying? He said it himself. You know. And he hates the workers of iniquity. You know what I'm saying? He hates sinners too. But Esau Edom tells you that's not so. You know what I'm saying? Because he doesn't want to be hated, and he's trying to hide who he is. You know what I'm saying? He wants to be everybody else, in the scriptures, even the Israelites. But all of a sudden, when it comes to Esau Edom, nobody know who Esau Edom is. How you get to be everybody else, nigga? You know what I'm saying? How you get to be the Israelites? You know what I'm saying? You the Romans and all this, whatever. But when it comes to who is Esau Edom, we don't know who they are. They don't exist anymore. It's a fucking lie. The Lord said there's no end of all the people. You know what I'm saying? So Esau Edom is still here too, and Esau Edom is the so-called white man. You know what I'm saying? And he can't run away from his destination. You're going into servitude, and you're going to be destroyed. But first, you got to bring upon your mark of the beast, your RFID microchip, which is already in play. You know what I'm saying? That's going on. World War III, Jacob's trouble, all that's on the brink of taking place. And Lord willing, this is the year, as Elder Apostle Tahar has deemed 2023, the hopeful year of all prophecies coming to pass. You know what I'm saying? Through the spirit of Yahawashi. And Lord willing, that's the case. You know what I'm saying? Because I know the nation of Israel, we're tired of being ruled over by these heathens. You know what I'm saying? Because these white these devils, they think they're better than us, but they're not. But they're gonna get their get back. We tired of getting up and going to work and being servitude by the lesser. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna get our get back in the kingdom. You best believe. So that's pretty much it. I hope the lesson is edifying. Just want to say, Kohola Yahawah Shai, Kwam Mashmala, Abba Shalom.